Good morning, Goatz. It is Wednesday, May 7th, 9:29 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to another video with Digital Goatz Academy. I am your host, Antoine Farrar, and welcome to our live trading segment. Now, it is 9:29, so currently right now I'm waiting on opening bell to trigger to see basically what's going to be the move for the day for indices. Now, I am still bullish, but we just have to see how 9:30 is going to make the market react. The thing is, if the market starts pushing up, I'm still skeptical. Like we really need to break this gap, this high up here. But if not, I'm skeptical that the market will try to push up and then try to come back down because we did create a gap yesterday. If you saw yesterday, the market went crazy at 6 o'clock open. So around when the market reset, the 6 o'clock candle pretty much like for US 30, it gave out like a 500 pip bull candle on like the 1 minute time frame. It was crazy. So we're looking at opening bell right now. As you can see, it's trying to push down. So let's kind of see what happens. Well, I'm looking at S&P right now. I'm not looking at US 30, but I'm trying to figure out what its direction based off of here. We do have like sellers in the market, but the one thing that I like to see is that if it does push down, what I'm thinking is that if it pushes down, then that's the move saying that the market wants to buy up. The indices have been pretty consistent across the board with that, where it wants to push down at 9:30. So if you look at the 9 a.m. candle, if we go to like 9 a.m. will push down a little bit and then completely reverse from there. So that's what I'm expecting from this candle right here, which we kind of got, if you see. But it's still the 9 a.m. candle is still open. So that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting to see how it kind of reacts. And then 10 a.m. should give us more clarity. But today is major news within the market. You know, we have the trade talks going on and we have the Fed rate decision that's happening at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. So there's a lot of volatility in the market today. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing to do is you see opportunity, you take it, unless you already have like a solidified position, which would mean that if you were trading like S&P or any indices, you need to be below this structure right here. You know what I'm saying? Your entry needs to be below all this structure for you to be able to stay within it, and then kind of see what the market does. You're entering the market today. Obviously, any move to the upside or to the downside, whatever the position that you're taking within those time frames, like take your money and go about your day. Take your money, every opportunity that brings you. But what I do think is that right now we'll have our momentum, and then closer to like 1:30, 12, all hell will break loose. That's what my projections are within this market. So we just kind of got to see what the 9 a.m. candle is trying to do right now going into 10 a.m. So she is rejecting, but that's not necessarily saying that it's pushing up. It could want to push up to push down. So we'll see. Overall, I'm still bullish on indices, but you know, like I said, we got to see with all this trade talk. One thing that I did like seeing within the news is that there was a lot of positivity within the trade talks this morning. So, well, this morning and from this evening, yeah, from the not this evening, yesterday evening. So yesterday evening there was a lot of positivity within the trade talks, and that was pretty much our forecast that these trade talks, because of like what the tariffs have done so far, that the trade talks were probably going to end up being positive, and the market probably was going to end up being positive in our favor. You can kind of see, like I said, you can kind of see what I've told my community is that you can kind of see this represented in the stock market. Like the stock market has definitely been bullish and starting to show positive properties within it. So the stock market, you know, and I'm not saying all stocks, but I know the stocks I've been looking at, the market has been playing in our favor. So because a lot of these stocks, like for instance, I'm looking at the stock market right now. I have Apple, right? Apple is under the NASDAQ. I don't think I have anything under US 30 or S&P, but these are under the NASDAQ. So they're going up, right? The stock market, I don't know which one it relates to, but the stock market normally reflects what's going on in the currency market or vice versa. So because I'm seeing the positivity within the stock market, obviously the currency market is still a little bit different. I'm thinking that we're still bullish, within indices, and we're just waiting for basically the fundamentals to kick in to be that trigger to send this market sky high. That's what I'm thinking. We've still been trending up. Every push down like has been a move for the market to push up. So there's really, besides these gaps that's being presented, there's really no reason to think that the market is going to come down unless we do get like a major push down. But you can see it's like it's struggling. You know what I'm saying? It's not even really trying to do anything right now. The last sentiment that we do have from the gap is that it was pushing down. But a lot of people get this, well, a lot of traders get this confused and they look at this as a push down. Understand the structure, right? And I'm not saying news can't trigger it to push down even more, but understand the structure, right? So when you look at where the market came from, if you snake back, what did it do? Just even on a 30-minute time frame, you can see that it broke out a previous high, right? So it broke out of a previous high, and then it's basically correcting itself. Now, we don't know how low that the market is going to correct, which it's looking like it does want to correct all of this gap, but we'll just kind of have to see if it's going to collect all of it or if it's going to play like halfway into it. So we're currently at 618 of this entire trend right here, this move that pushed the market up. So we're at 61.8%. So we'll see though. Oh, the market just opened up bullish. Is the So I'm looking at the actual indexes of S&P and US 30, and they opened up bullish, but we'll see. Let me see. Oh yeah, it gapped up. So with this gapping up, since we're looking at the actual index, the fact that it gapped up, this is probably the move. The market is probably going to continue to push up. So this should be reflected on S&P US against US 30, I mean against USD, and US 30 against, oh man. That's why sometimes it's not like just looking at US 30, like wow, like that's a headache right there. Yeah, S&P is the more docile one, but US 30 is violent right now. So you see how US 30 like gapped up. This is the actual index. It gapped up, struggling to push up still, but more than likely, as you can see, when these things gap, you see they continue down. You know what I'm saying? They might have a pullback, but then they continue. So this was a major gap, which it needed to recover, but this isn't really like a major gap. So it'll probably push this market up even more until it hits like a level that it wants to reject, or until, the end of the trading day. So this is what the market has been doing overall. And that's what I expected when I saw this. So you turn it to a Hakanashi candle, you'll see all that information you want to see. So when I saw this drop was major, but I looked at this drop that, okay, on the opposite side, because we still been trending up, it looks aggressive. That sell is aggressive, but what we should have is that after it's done doing its small sell, we should open up bullish, and that's what it's looking like it's doing. And this is turning your candles into the Hakanashi pattern. So you can see that information that you can't see with the candlesticks. So on the indexes, I can't see, you know what I'm saying? The information is broken and distorted. But if you go to the line chart, you can see the information. You can see that, okay, that's a valley that the market is pushing down. Um, and the EMA is carrying it. I always keep the EMA showing to show that it is carrying the momentum up or down, you know what I'm saying? So we've broken through this and now the momentum is still being carried up. It's just about where the market wants to start buying from. You know what I'm saying? We know that it's bullish, but is today going to bring it down a little bit further? Like when we're looking at US 30 and S&P? Yeah, that looks like it's gonna send that market. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. will be a tall tale sign for sure. But this stuff is gonna be like this until we get to like uh let's say October. Let's say like September, October. Yeah, September, October time, maybe like towards the end of September and then going into October, that the market is going to be like, it's going to be reacting slow until it starts getting ready to trend. But this is what I've been telling my community, that we've already been identifying the trend on the higher time frame. So if you clear out all this noise, let me get rid of this. How do I? If you clear out all this noise, we've been trending up. Do it from a Hakanashi standpoint. We've been trending up. Like, we don't really need the market to tell us that we've been trending up to say that, okay, on the higher time frame, we've been trending up. Let's back it out. Look at that. Hakanashi, like momentum. We've definitely been trending up. The market definitely wants to push up. So we don't necessarily need the fundamentals to tell us that, yo, we've been pretty much building up momentum to go as hard as we want. I mean, as high as we want to the upside. And I think this is that move that analysts and experts were talking about last year, where they were saying like, yeah, man, S&P, we projected to go to 7,000. That might happen towards the end of this year. You know what I'm saying? But this is the slow buildup. So these are the moves that you want to be putting yourself in position to catch as a trader. You know what I'm saying? It's going to look funny. It's going to look like it wants to push down. Every move probably pushing down is going to look violent, like the market is about to drop up out the sky, and then it's going to reverse on your ass. But excuse me, but if you stay with the higher trend and just look at the structure, the foundation of the market, you'll be, you know what I'm saying? Like easy to find your entry. Even when we look at right here. Oh man, I hate that it did that. What I was trying to show is that, this is probably like 50% of this candle on the weekly time frame. So what do we do with 50%? 50% is what? That's where we normally look for an opportunity to buy or sell, depending on what direction the market is trending at. So if the market is trending up, this candle, this weekly candle pushing back partly of last week should carry the momentum. Well, the expectation is that if it's respecting that 50%, imagine like this is 50% if we just have like, if you just look at my crosshairs. So this is 50%, maybe 618, you know what I'm saying? But more than likely 50%, right? 50% of this candle. Same thing if we break it down on a smaller time frame, that this would be an entire move, you know what I'm saying? But it's a weekly candle and stuff, right? So same logic applies, that if I draw Fibonacci, I see 50%. The market normally corrects itself 38 to 50%, but can go all the way to 100%. You just have to identify where it's rejecting that, right? So since we know that information, if this was 50% and we're seeing the rejection on the higher time frame, that's not solidifying it, because we still have all this news to come out, but that's giving you at least a little bit more confluence in the market to say that, okay, this is probably our buy area where the market wants to continue pushing up. We've been bullish, you know what I'm saying? So if this, don't be surprised if like by September, October, you see a big ass bull candle all the way up here, you know what I'm saying, going into October. And you're like, man, if only I would have, but it's doing it slowly in order to build that up. It's building up the orders in order to do that. I'm telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be surprised. And it's like 7,000 is just like the starting point for what people believe, yo. It could go beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Like, with cryptocurrency booming, going to levels that we never predicted, not to mention, well, yeah, cryptocurrency, that's just opening the door for like assets that already existed. You know what I'm saying? Look at gold. I mean, gold is going, nobody's even talking about gold. Gold is going to dumb numbers. You know what I'm saying? So this is the time that you want to be a trader, an investor. You know what I'm saying? Like start pouring your money into this market, this stock market. If you're a day trader, start pouring your money into the foreign exchange, make accurate decisions or whatnot. But at the same time, like y'all missing opportunity. This is where it's going to create that separation gap. But I don't want to go into like motivational speaking or, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just telling y'all what it is because of what I'm able to see in the market from my viewpoint. You know what I'm saying? US 30 is probably going dumb right now, but it's so violent that it's like you really want it to kind of settle down and stuff. Today, I don't think, besides if you got the capital, you know what I'm saying? Like if you got the capital, I don't think today is like a good day to be messing with US 30, besides like the minis, but um this is what we wanted to see. This is exactly the stuff that we wanted to see. Oh, and this is that tech rally that I believe that the NASDAQ, well, they were talking about it. I forgot what the guy name is, but they were saying that there was a tech rally possibly that was gonna you know, be triggered into the market. And I think this is where we're at. We're here. I think we're in that I think we're in that tech rally space now for how the market is reacting. So you see the indexes, these are the actual indexes. They're actually bullish right now. If you look at it on the daily time frame, hour time frame, it's actually bullish. So like I said, turn into a Hakanashi to clear out a lot of this noise. And again, 10 a.m. will be a little bit more clear, but do not try to enter that market at 1:30. You know what I'm saying? Like, do not try to, if your position isn't like below where I mentioned, like, do not try to enter that market at 1:30. Probably get your face punched in. You know what I'm saying? So, but that'll give you, once the market settles, that'll give you an idea on where we're trying to go from there. You know what I'm saying? But we just kind of need that data to pour in and then clear out and then make a decision from there. But I think everything up until like 12:30, 1 o'clock, I think we're good. You know what I'm saying? Like I think trade, you know what I'm saying, make your decisions. But after that, just kind of study the market and see you know, how the movements are within that time period, whatever you're trading. Like you might not even be looking at indices, but even with Forex pairs, they're gonna react. You know what I'm saying? This news is gonna make these markets react. So just be careful. I don't think it's nothing to be afraid of, but you know, just make sure you make accurate decisions within the market, like to make money. The goal is to make money, right, traders? So I will see everybody on the next video of Digital Goats Academy. If you're tuning into this video, as always, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you drop a comment. I've been seeing the growth, man. I appreciate everybody that's been returning to view this channel and my new viewers. So thank you guys in return. So special things are coming our way. So again, hit that subscribe button. And this is Antoine Ferrara. I'll see you on the next video with Digital Goats Academy.